I used to get really offended when I was in my hoe phase and people were like, by the time you're ready to settle down, all the good guys are going to be taken and you're going to be old. And I would get so mad. I'm 44. I'm old. All the good ones are definitely taken. Joke's on me.
This is why men watch in silence. They're just watching everything crumble because Father Time is the only thing that can show them. They're always clueless. They're acting like they don't understand what men want, or they don't understand how to get locked down into a good situation. Men are giving you all the answers. They're giving you the cheat sheet. You don't want to listen to it. You want to take your own route and then you end up stranded. But somehow it's still the men's fault. But one thing I kind of like about this clip is that she's laughing at herself. Because at least she can do it from a fully furnished apartment or a home that she's paying for by herself. Let's get the next one.
Girls have it rough out here because why am I 5'3"? I have a college degree with psych and a business minor. I've been doing real estate for 6 years. I bought my own house at 23. I'm creative. I'm ingenuitive. I like to play golf. I don't go out. I literally sit at home and sew and make clothes for my friends, read, and I still don't have a boyfriend. It makes sense, make it make sense. Computer, make it make sense.
Men don't care about everything that you're listing, everything that you're saying. I've done this, I have this, I'm going about it this way. That's not what it takes to lock down a guy and have something seriously long-term with a guy, with a man. And isn't it funny that they put themselves in these higher categories? They do whatever they can to become above average. So you would think that they're bumping shoulders with above average men. Even if they are, it doesn't matter.
And to my future husband,
Where the fuck are you at?
because the bitch is starting to get impatient, okay? We're in our 30s now, and I'm just trying to figure out where you're at.
Did you take the wrong shortcut? Because it's taking you quite a long time to get to me. Do you need a fucking map? Because I can give you one. I can share my location. Like, what are you possibly doing that is taking you this long to come and find me? Like, where are you? Where are you, nigga?
You already met him and you passed him up. Probably met a bunch of dudes that could have been your future husband, but you passed him up and now you're in your 30s. See, they think it's desperate to need a man. They just want a man. When they're going through their 20s, they don't need a guy. So the fact that you don't need a guy, that's why you're getting the results that you got, because you didn't need one. Now you would want one, or you do need one now. Reality is checking you and you're like, where's my husband at? He needs to hurry up. Men that are 30, 29, getting there, getting to the bag, they're not worried about it like that. They're not. They don't need you in their space, interrupting their life, making problems where there doesn't need to be problems. But you have a major problem on your hand because, see, women are vulnerable out here, man. Major consumers. Spend, 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 spend. Whenever you hear them complain about not having a dude, I don't care if the last clip the woman's like, oh, I have this and I bought this and I've done this for myself. Bro, that's the minority of them. The majority of them are broke. They're broke. They go shopping and they spend money on things to make themselves feel better about themselves. But in the background, they wish that they had support from a man. When something goes wrong, a man will be there. And unfortunately for women, their strategy, they don't like stand-up men. They really don't. When they're wasting all the time and then they get to 30 and they're like, where are all the good guys? You passed all of them up. They're really not your speed like that. The reliable guys. The guys who plan and have a strategy. They don't just spend money. They don't just do this and that because they feel like this and that. You're not really attracted to those guys. So this is where it leads you. This is why I say they take their own route. They end up stranded and then still blame men because she's like, where you at? Like it's the men's fault when you could have picked better. Let's get the next one.
All right, excuse the way I look, but I just have to rant here. So I live in an apartment complex right now. We just moved from North Carolina to Georgia. I will insert here what happens. Or the oil cover of my car came off as I was driving down here from North Carolina. Well, I lost one screw, but I got it done like 3 hours later. But my thing is, what happened to men if they see a woman underneath her car trying to fix something, going up to them and saying, ma'am, do you need help? When I tell you the amount of cars and men that walked by and didn't say anything, just stared at me as I was trying to get these screws back on my car, when I don't even know how to work on cars. I had to call my brother from Louisiana to help me. Thank God for him, and to help me find which screw. Now that no one could help me with but him, but just the application of just putting this thing back on my car and no one asking to say, ma'am, can I help you? Some old lady just asked me, are you okay, sweetie? That's the first person that asked me out of the millions of guys that have walked by. Like, what happened to this world? I just guess I'm just so annoyed, frustrated, and have no hope anymore for these men. I don't know. It's just been a really crappy first 2 days here, just with everything happening. I just have a lot of stuff going on. But what has happened to this world? Do you see the sweat? Everything? Yeah. And no one even asked if they could help. No, I had 2 cars pulled in the spot next to me as I'm standing there. I'm only standing there, dripping sweat, trying to get all my stuff together. And people just start backing in. Backing in. Oh, then let me pull forward and then scoot more so I can hit you as I'm trying to back in. And this was a man who just did this as I was finishing up. I don't know what I gotta do, but I'm just fuming inside that this is what this world has come to. Now, I'm not saying every single man, but at least the men in this apartment complex that I'm now living in. I guess I'll pray for y'all. Have a good day, ladies. And remember, this shows that you don't need a man. But still, just the thought of a man coming to see if you're okay when you have car problems. Guess just don't expect that anymore. At least in this apartment complex. Have a good day.
This clip shows you just how much benefit men actually bring to them. They feel like it's disrespect. They get so emotional and hurt, they flip open the camera and make a video because a man didn't stop to help her with something. Why didn't you fix your lips to ask for help? Because in their mind, no matter if it's approaching, buying drinks, helping with heavy lifting, helping with the car, helping with this, helping with that, you're supposed to be a mind reader. You're supposed to get up and do work. You're supposed to do what you're supposed to do as a man and jump in and save them, protect them, even if it comes at the cost of your own safety. But they never ask for help. You're just supposed to know. Why don't you have a brother that you could call? Why don't you have any simps in the friend zone that you can call? Why don't you have an ex-boyfriend who's still hung up on you that you can call? Why don't you have any men that you can call and you can actually rely on them? Why is it a stranger's duty? It's his job to help you. Why? Because of the entitlement. Because they like to double dip. I don't need a man, but I need a man's help. I don't need a man's help, but I need a man. Which one is it? Are you a victim? Or are you a volunteer? Men got the notice, right? And subconsciously, this is why men aren't rushing to defend women. They're not rushing to help women because they got it. You got to make up your mind. But see, this is the benefit of having a man. You can call on your man, something goes wrong with your car. You can call on your man if something scares you in the house. Something scares you, you're in danger. You could call your man. Your man should be right next to you. But they don't have that. Then they take it out on everybody else because nobody's willing to step up and do charity work. Absolutely not. Let's get the next one.
I do feel like love should be steady and love should be secure. But I also feel like healthy love to me looks like if you don't speak to me, your chest is tight. You're throwing up, your belly hurts. You thought it was the cheese that you had for lunch, but no, it's because we're on bad terms. I don't know. I feel like there's a part of love that is yearning, and that is I want to speak to her. I want to be with her. I want to breathe her air, not again in like a weird obsessive way, but in like a I love her and I want to be near her type of way. I just feel like that's what's wrong with the young men nowadays. That's why the girlies are single.
Yeah, but the type of men that you really want like that don't tend to operate that way. because they have access to a bunch of dudes that want to yearn for them, crash out over them, impress everybody for them, open doors, let out chairs for them. But they never end up with these guys. You notice the pattern? But they have access to these guys. No, men aren't doing that have self-respect for themselves. Because for a man to feel like he can't go on without you, that's the sign of a weak man. So what are you saying here? You want leverage over a guy? Because what they're really going to do is just go somewhere else for a guy who's stronger than that dude. And then if he doesn't want her, she'll fall back on this guy. Don't be a weak individual when it comes to women. Don't be led by your emotion and your feelings. You got to be grateful for logic and reason. So if a man is weak without you, what does that say about him? How can he lead you? How can he lead you? See, they're always trying to rewrite things when things don't work out for them. When they take the detour or they take the route that they want to take and then they end up stranded, they try to rewrite things. Oh no, we really are attracted to weak men. Oh yeah, we really are attracted to guys who bow down to us. No, they're not. Don't ever listen to the lies that they spread with this stuff.